Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, I've been itching to ask this question for quite a while. Actually, to tell you the truth, since last week. But, the question tonight is, has Leo Starr's character ran its course on Days of Our Lives? Because I'm starting to sit there and think, when was the last time I was excited for his story? I mean, hell, it seems like that might have been one time, and that was a long, long, long time ago with that guy, that doctor he was in there with. But ever since then, it has just been, well, essentially in the toilet, right? Um, Especially when you start blackmailing Sloan, then it just became stupid. And he's just been there as this stupid ass joke character. And we're going to be talking about a lot of soaps, obviously. Sit there and do roll call. Let's get this started. Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Ronnie Rhymes in the chat. How you doing tonight? Anthony, the number one YouTuber. How are you doing tonight? Let's go to your channel. Spider Quake is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Wink Wink is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Let's go to your channel. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Well, not about that. It's whatever. Um, Obviously the main obviously the main contentious point. I'm really good. Black Mile was actually off today, so I'm actually pretty damn happy. If you're gonna be honest. Um, Wayne said we got to get you goddamn right. We got to get into YNR. Absolutely, absolutely. Yo, Lily is on one. Lily is yo. Okay, part of me, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me is like, I don't know if I should be annoyed or kind of turned on by what she said. She was like, "No, you're trying hard to impress me because you're attracted to me." And I was just like, kind of egotistical shit that just came out her mouth. Like, I was like, wait, what? What? So yes, we are going to talk about YNR today, and I'm glad to actually have some people here that I can talk about YNR with. I thought about you when she told that man to quit his job. I was like, yo, this chick is on. What's good, Darby? Where's my goddamn music at? So we are going. She literally sat there. Days has not been good with the new writers. Glad to hear that, Darby. I'm glad to hear that. Where is my? There we go. Glad to hear that, Darby. Queen of the South, how's the lovely Queen doing tonight? It's good to see you. She literally sat there and told them that, well, you could just quit your job. You could just what? I'm just, I felt like I was a little pressed for time. What's good, Double C? I felt like I was a little pressed for time, but like I actually had to stop for me. I was like, did she really just sit there and say, "Oh yeah, you could just sit. We'll find you something to do." You find him something to do. What? Of course, Queen. Of course, no. It's always good to see you. If it can't be, it can't be that good if Daniel and Billy cheated on her. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's kind of fun. I mean, she's not like I wouldn't quit my job over her. I wouldn't quit my job over her. And you can move into a car but too, yeah. Okay, and now as I always sit there and do these streams, I'm just gonna sit there and say this once. Um, because sometimes I'll sit there and say this, and then people just blow right past us. Like It then messaged me 4 times the same goddamn thing over and over again, which is, I swear one day I'm gonna fucking snap. Um, there is one of me. There's 20 people in this chat. I'm not gonna get to every single comment, so just understand that and have some patience. Now, Ron says your thoughts on the EJ wanted to buy the Hospi University. I knew Kayla would have turned it down. Okay. That he didn't change. That he's still being greedy, and he's still trying to do this for his own interests. And this whole good guy act is exactly that, an act. So yes, that's what I think about it. I'm just like, yo, she literally sat there, and then the whole Billy. I actually enjoy this episode, YNR. The whole Billy and Jack conversation was interesting because you really yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I have to sit there and say, because there's times when people will just sit there and just write the same comment and over and over and over again. I'm like, bro or sis, calm your goddamn tits. Like, you're doing too much. Um, because you understood why that change affected him so much. DC Soap Sanctuary, what is good, my guys? Good to see you again. Tommy is in the chat. Amber's in the chat. How you doing tonight? But yes, you understood. This wasn't just shit. Okay, all right. I gotta shout you out my thumbnail tonight. Yo, let's everyone congratulate DC. Honestly, tell you the truth, he would have already got 1K a long time ago if he was doing it more consistently. So yes, Tommy, that's exactly what we were talking about. Lily just wants him to quit his job. Like, girl, are you at your forehead? I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. That's good to hear. And listen, anytime somebody sits there and topples the competition with Jabal, I'm very happy about. Very, very, very happy about. Yes, let's congratulate DC on that. But yes, this wasn't just about a simple aesthetics. Like, he didn't like how the house looked. He didn't like what it took away from him. His memories of his dad, you know? So yeah, I understood that. But see, the thing is, so I was in Kyrie's stream yesterday, right? And you know, somebody said that Jack made Billy apologize to Diane, and that wasn't the case. Billy wasn't there trying to come across like an asshole. Hell, he actually sanctioned that change. But see, that's what happens when people don't actually watch the whole episode. They just hear things and they just assume. 4 years, 4 years in the game. What a game that we play, huh? Double C says Damien's no simp. He's not quitting a job for a chick who's not interested in him. I mean, let's be honest. Even if she was interested in him, he shouldn't be quitting his job. Like seriously, like that should never be an option. Oh wow, they actually did that. Okay, this anything involving family. Who does Jack think he is? Victor. That's a good. That I like that one. Yes, Tommy. Ultimately, family is very important. Sometimes you need to apologize because it's beyond your pride. You gotta sit there and always think, do you want this person in your life? Or do you not want this? Oh, Lord, okay. Do you not want this person in your life? Like, is your pride worth losing someone that you love? That's always the question. I won't told Lily, no, I'm not. Oh, you would have told Lily that you're not quitting your job? You're not quitting your job for a fine ass woman? Hmm? I justify simping when they're hot enough. Ron says, did you really care about the bell insurance scene? Also boring. Alex and Stephanie. God, I fast forward. You're right. I didn't care that much, but it's necessary. I think it's really, yeah, that's true. No, it can't be me, and I do agree, Darby. I do. Double C says in this economy, if you quit your job, you have better. Well, yes, Double C. That's very true. By the way, why am I not moderating? Oh my god, yo, DC is a trip. I love that guy. Yes, absolutely, Darby. When they're hot enough, I definitely what you call it. I justify that. There we go. But no, I understood. And then you have Chelsea. See, this is the whole thing. Chelsea, you knew exactly what you signed up for. And my gorgeous, sassy, sexy ass wifey. Oh, for cat lady, I'll do anything. And for cat lady, I'll do anything. That's wifey right there. I don't, I was gonna tell you, GC, I never figured out how that works. I've seen Kyrie do it, but I never figured out how that works though. But see, exactly, Tommy. I'm like, exactly. Like Chelsea knew exactly what she was getting into when she decided to sit there and you know, when she decided to work for what you call it for Adam. I feel so official with my name in the blue here. Yeah, it just makes sense. Makes sense, DC. But how the hell have you been? Oh, DC, I gotta ask you a question. Did you watch yesterday's episode of General Hospital? And did you think that Dante went too far with Geo? Hmm? Am I yelling by the way? I can never tell with the fucking AC on. But did you think that Dante went too hard on Geo? It was one of the very contentious factions in my review. DC, you're awesome. Dante was doing too much. Okay, so he says that Dante was doing too much. So, DC, if that was you and that was your niece or nephew, how would you have handled it? Ron says, Robert, what about Candace Mack? She was on the table because you can't keep it in your. What? I'm sorry, what? She was on the table because you can't keep it in your pants. So, Cat Lady is. No, 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 no. Cat Lady is first and always. Life, if Jill was. Yeah, let's say you didn't have a son, but you had a nephew, and that happened. How would you react? Double C says with Chelsea, it is a bad idea to hire her when she would judge it. Exactly, but that's the thing, though. Double C, she also knows what she's getting into. She's like, "Well, I want this place to be a force for like good and truth and honesty, and not to sit there and bulldoze the competition." Like, do you not know who Victor Newman is? Like, that's my whole thing. It's like, do you not know who he is? Wait, if it's my nephew Gianluca, so I can know. Okay, like for me, um, if it was my nephew, I would be upset. Think about it. Gio should have called Dante when he found her. I mean, when he found him, unconscious and drunk. But he didn't do that, and he got blindsided about that. So if let's just then say that was your niece or your nephew or your let's just we're not doing Rocco or Gio, but okay, Ron. Damn, cat lady. I mean, my point is though, if you were in that position with Dante, what would you do? You know, you found out your son or your nephew was in a hospital and you didn't get a call from Geo. How would you react? That's my whole thing. How would you react if that was your son, your daughter, or your nephew was in a hospital because Geo didn't call you because he wanted to practically just sweep this whole thing under the rug? Ichi says like Gio should have called, but Dante is deflecting and looking for someone to blame for his bad parenting. It's easy to take it out on Gio instead of acknowledging you should. Yes, and as in the same token, yes, and I do agree with that. I do agree with that. But you can also understand that I 100% agree with. You are projecting your anger, your failings, and you're taking it out on Gio. But it's also not right. I will be upset with Gio, but be upset with Rocco once I know he's okay. Gio is an adult, but I'm assuming he's. Oh Lord, okay. And then you lost me. But okay. All right. I appreciate your perspective. I don't know where we're getting this twins Isaiah storyline from. Like but see the thing is, DC, what you tend to do is you tend to sit there and this is just a you thing, is that you tend to sit there and give a certain level of passage based on their age. See, I'm not about that. You would sit there and say like, well, Brooklyn was young and da 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 da, and I'm like, well, she still was selfish. But I understand. Tommy says no, I don't think that they're twins. Um, I think that theory is just kind of wild, but it's hard to sit there and say because technically they can kind of be twins even from a father's point, right? Like I don't know how that whole thing would work out. I mean, Nicole is one mother, and you know, and and Leslie is another mother. So how could I even be possible that they're twins? You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't even get to make someone else feel like they're because you scared or upset. He was talking to Gio like a stranger off the streets. He Dante isn't wrong in that at least. DC says, and then Dante had the nerve to blame him and accuse him. That's where he lost me, right? That's where he lost me. No, actually, I didn't hear about that, Ron. That's actually the first time I'm hearing about that from what you told me. My whole thing is like, I guess my whole thing is like, I understood initially that would mean Leslie would have stolen even from Nicole. That's how they can be twins. Oh, she says, duh. That would mean that Leslie would have stolen Eva from Nicole. Okay, all right, okay, that's a fair point. Of course, you got to be sassy about it. Fucking love you, love your ass. Um, but see, that's the thing, though, right? Because I look at that and I'm like, I get initial anger. I generally did support with Dante, as far as Dante lashing out. Kelly says, yeah, duh, because me and Nikisha and Prairie said all this on our damn stream, but you don't freaking listen. Baby girl, I was in the back doing other stuff. Like, this was ladies' night, remember? Um, so no, I mean, I went back, I watched a little bit of it, but in all reality, that was your time, that was your segment, Miss Sassy. So no, but I went back and I watched a little bit of afterwards. Remember, I was doing other things at the time, right? You remember that, right? Yeah, I understand that. But the thing is, though, DC, you said this saying he panicked, he did this, he did that. At the end of the day, he didn't make the right call. And so I understand him being pissed off. That's not that's not true. That's not true. I didn't. I said that I was doing other stuff. I came in from time to time to work on these sort of technical difficulties. But of course, I'd supported y'all. Don't you? When I see you in person, yo, this is fucking wild to me. But okay, I was there for support. I totally cared about what they were saying, but I did tell you I was also doing other things though too that night. But again, I understand that. I understand that anger and that level of being blindsided because Cody should. You didn't sit there saying, "Well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he didn't do da 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 da." But he should have done that though. Darby says, "I saw Thunderbolts and Avengers. It was an game." Yeah, Darby, I enjoyed it. I'm glad you actually got a chance to watch it. So we can definitely talk about it. Yeah, it is. Okay, you probably saw it yesterday, right? Cat lady, you are a bad girl. You are such a bad girl. Um, Again, I get that initial reaction. He made a bad call, and that's where like I said, I agree with him initially ripping into her because nobody likes to be blindsided, but especially seeing your loved one in the hospital, knowing that you didn't even bother to call me, you just swept it under the rug because you wanted to sit there and what be the cool uncle or something like that. Like you didn't want to get him into trouble, so you just let him just be there. You know what I'm saying? Like I understood that because he did the wrong thing. I don't give a shit. His thing. If you see a loved one in the hospital, you're not going to sit there and be like, oh, you know what, you panicked and you're not 25 yet, so I totally like, no, fuck that. I understand that initial anger. I don't. I think we're on two different wavelengths. I think we're on two different wavelengths. I think that you're giving him. I think that you're giving him a certain level of cushioning and understanding because of his age. And I'm not sitting there saying that he ripped into him and it was right, that initial reaction, but that was based off of emotions. Cat lady, you're a bad girl. Hmm. That's what I'm going to say about that right now. I'm thinking something entirely different. But, fuck me. Hold on. Tommy says, I think that the priest will forgive Eva if she is Nicole's daughter. I think if they did that, that would just be a cop out. I think that would just be a cop out. Eagle Fang, you can say Gabby's course have ran as well as Leo, but I doubt they'll let him go from the show. Yeah, and we kind of both know why. And you're a bad, never mind. Fucking love you. See, DC, this is where you tend to this is where you tend to lose me. This is where you tend to lose me right there. I mean, goddamn DC, you're my god and everything like that, but you're so goddamn predictable. Now let's just sit there and say, for the sake of argument, DC, let's just sit there and say we'll play devil's advocate. Let's sit there and say that you're right. Exactly. It was so like that's the problem, right? That's the WC says to be fair, G didn't know how drunk Rocco was. He thought he had a bit too much. He didn't know he was wasted. Yeah, but he still should have sat there. Actually, I don't do that, GC. And this is again, this is where you lose me. Yes, at the end of the month, Eagle, bro, I'm gonna be so broke. I'm gonna be so broke, bro. Um, I think I can just kind of justify that because I'll do like a small review on it. So see, this is where one you're wrong about that. Um, and I get that because you don't watch my reviews like this, so I can see where the misconception is. And number two, where the hell is your other comment at? Where's your other comment at? Regardless of whatever you're sitting there saying right there, it doesn't take away from the fact that um, Gio should have did the right thing by calling Dante or calling Lulu. He didn't do that. You know, I think where Dante lost me was when he was sitting there accusing him of pushing alcohol on him, of sitting there trying to bring him up on charges. That's where I started to lose traction with Dante because I'm like, bro, I get your initial reaction. Have we go again with the understand? You say that like that's some sort of a justification. Maybe Gio didn't know what the right thing was in that moment. How we went through that. It doesn't make it right though. The basis that they're saying, well, we're all humans, so we all make mistakes. Like that's supposed to sit there and justify it. That's the problem. That's the problem with a sentence like that. It doesn't take away that initial bad moment, that bad decision that he did. Instead of just not just saying he made a bad decision, point blank, period. I don't give a shit if he was, he made, we're all human and da 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 da. This doesn't take away from the bad choice that he made. That's why I can't sit there and follow that philosophy. Wow. Wow, cat lady. Cat lady, did you see the post that I made about you? I dedicated a whole post to you that you didn't even sit there and make a comment about. My community tab. Okay. All right. I'm kind of over this. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Just here we go. When's the last time you've been on my channel? I was on your channel yesterday. Harry says everyone's so opera. If it was your nephew, how aggressive would you have been when Geo? Would you have let it escalate to physical violence in that day and age? It can easily lead to gun. Okay, part of me is just like this is where I'm starting to lose traction with that sentence. Would you have let it escalate to physical violence in this day and age? It can easily lead to gun violence. That I'm sorry, but I feel like that's too. I can't even answer that because I feel like that's two different scenarios. Right? How do we go from blaming him and being mad at him and ripping into him to gun violence? Like I don't even understand. Yeah, I'm like, what do you? Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. Like I'm not even gonna. I'm not doing that. I feel like they're just two completely different things. So, what was good, Kyrie? Yes, double C, and that's exactly what I sat there and said. Yes, and I agree with that. That's exactly what I said. Um, yeah, I said that. I said the exact same thing. Um, oh, also Beyond the Gates wasn't on today. I know Tommy kept saying that they're bringing that up, and I don't know. We got into this whole geo nonsense or whatever, but to be honest, I didn't exactly miss. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. Carrie says, my point is, this day and age, a lot of younger people around Geo age have short tempers and less respect. So that would have left them there. But if it's not, and you lashed out like that, it can escalate. Okay, I see what you're saying. Um, kind of think that's more of a dark turn, but okay. At least I understand what you're saying. Um, like I said, you know how I feel about that subject with the whole Geo thing. No, no, no. Just we had a prior conversation, and and I thought about it last night. Thought about this morning, and part of me is like, what? I just, I don't even want to go there for just a couple of different reasons. So, DC's is just exactly what I meant. I know what I meant. Kyrie knows what I meant, and it should just kind of stay that. It should just kind of stay there. Like the one thing that I was not going to sit there and do. Also, I wanted it to be a chill stream. And I feel like if you know, I want it to be a chill stream. Billy says that dark turn as a real life turn. Stick in your ways. It's my way of looking out for you. I care damn. I care damn it. But for real though, that's what I was thinking. Martin. No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but it's not even about that. It's that I understand what you're saying, but it's a little yeah. Um, yeah. But I see what yeah, that I'm fine with. I think it's just other stuff that was said that I'm thinking about. But I understand what you're saying though. What's good, Monique? DC says Albert's comment is giving a secret between Martin. Yo, DC, you are yo, DC is one of a kind. I swear. Eh, I don't know, Darby. See, that's my whole thing though. Like when you're angry and you're emotional, there's no logic behind that, right? Like I'm not saying it's okay, but like anger and emotions does not dictate logic. Like I said, that's my whole thing with Beyond the Gate stuff, because it's like, fuck it. Let me just sit there and ask this: did anybody miss Grams? How the hell are you? I haven't seen. I felt like I haven't seen you like way too long. Deluxe, what is good? Yeah, how many people actually did anybody miss? Oh, did anybody? Okay, did anybody miss Beyond the Gates today? Did anybody sit there and miss Beyond the Gates? Because it's been off for like 2 days. And I just want to know did anybody actually miss it though? Oh wow. Okay, so you missed it. Okay, all right. Anybody else? Well, no, Nick. It's good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's gonna happen tomorrow too. Yeah, Grams. Tamara said that she did. Okay, all right. Tamara did. All right. DC says I'm sending some hater in your face beyond the gates. Is giving Leslie right now. Taylor says no, because we all knew it wasn't coming on like last week, like I said. Oh my God, Kathleen, this is why you're wifey. This is why I love you. Fucking bad girl. I said, did anybody miss it? So I guess no, not really. Oh, Wayne said nope. Shit. Carrie says yes, and day without Eva or Naomi on my screen is a day too long. I hate saying this. Cat gets on my nerves, but I mean, I miss Cat. There's something about Cat and that boss like energy, even though that she comes across as kind of bougie at times and, kind of a bully. DC says, wow, this seems like it's going to be another 2 o'clock soap that Abu. No, here's the thing. I'm still watching it. I'm still watching it. Yeah, I'm still going to watch this show. I mean, here's the thing though, DC. You got to sit there and remember something. We operate differently, right? I mean, if we're going to be honest, it would have been the same thing like if General Hot. Okay, let's put it this way. Watching 5 soap operas daily is a lot, right? Watching 5 soap operas, talking about 5 soap operas, it's a lot. So if I get a break from at least one of them because of, I don't know, whatever reason, kind of okay with that. But I don't know. I just so anyway. DC, DC, and his wow, you like you like characters everyone else hates. It's funny. I do, but that's not always by choice. That's not always by choice. What's good, Krista? It's kind of a perspective thing, but okay, guys. Ben says, I've been good, Albert. How have you been? I still haven't seen Beyond the Gates yet. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants to sit there and be like, it's not like you're really missing much. But anyway, like I said, I don't know. Cat's kind of a boss chick. Hillary Bank Five and those type of women are hard for anyone to please. She's kind of a boss chick. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like her in a sense. Like, it was good to see you though, Krista. Oh yeah, I'm not missing Beyond the Gates because I just got into Hollywood. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Wink. Okay. You know what? Shit. I gotta sit there. I gotta start doing reviews. I gotta start getting more people into this show. That's what's up. And Grace is a mess. Kind of a sociopath. Tracy Steves. Be cop. So at least opportunity is like that. This is like me. Carrie, you always know how to make me smile. I'll sit there and say that much. DT says bored chicks are usually hard to please and nowadays hard to want. They're typically very difficult. Yeah, cat lady can be very difficult at times. What's good, Mika? What's good, Tracy Steves? Apparently so. Yeah, difficult. Hold on. Difficult, sassy. Thank you, love. Your emoji just proved that. No, no, I like cat. I do. Um, in this weird way. And yes, that's another thing. I seem to like characters that other people, but I don't see cat ones. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not funny. That's the alcohol. That the alcohol made me laugh. That wasn't me. Um, but yes. I'm still not gonna be able to walk that comment back. DC says Kat was more vulnerable on Monday's episode, but she seemed too spoiled to me. Yeah, she says Kat will make a man work three jobs. Yes. Yeah, she would. Like I said, I sat there and I looked at Leslie, and Leslie is just, Kelly, you stop it. I fucking love you. Monique says, according to soaps, she knows Dumas is really dry. Is really Drusilla. What? DC says, I have to admit, I think Martin is one of the strongest actors on the show. Yeah, the actor that plays Martin, strongest one on the show. Don't they got another show called The Bay? But that's so interesting, Wink, though, that you watch Hollyoaks. That's okay. That's gonna give me kind of hype to do a review. And I remember you saying I should do reviews on Saturday for Hollyoaks. So I might do that. I might do that. Ebony Lovely. Lies and fallacies and lies, fallacies, and conjecture about what? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's a new one. I like that. Lies, fallacies, and conjecture. Conjecture. That was good. That's good. I can respect that. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Well, it was on my Facebook. Martin being the best actor. I'm not. I'm not out. I'm not out going to be. Going to be. I'm out. Got to get going. Okay. You have a good night, Kyrie's. I will catch up with you on your stream. Krista says Trina deserves a real story, and a love story. Yes, that's true. That's true. I don't know. The sad thing is, Krista, I feel like the show gave up on Trina the minute that Spencer left. The minute that um Nicholas Chavez left, they gave up on Trina, and then they did what they want to call giving Green Jess is in the chat, and then they did what they call, well, let's give the fans what they want. And what is one of the things that the fans wanted? For Trina to have a black boyfriend. They didn't really care how that got accomplished. They just decided to do it. What's good, cherry ice cream? Hey, Jess, are you missing Beyond the Gates? What's good, Duan? Where did you go, DC? What's good, cherry ice cream? It's good to see you. Hmm. DC says, are they killing off Leo? See, my history with the show, I would sit there and say no. But I think if they did, just listen, okay? Okay, it's good to have you, though. I mean, I thought they were going to kill off Eric. I thought they were going to kill off quote unquote granddad, but that shit didn't happen, right? That did not happen. Ring says, actually, I want Ava to take Trina under her wing and become a bad girl. Yeah, that would definitely give her some edge. Fuck yeah, that would give her some edge. Shit. DC says, then not kill Eric off showed me I can never trust. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm. What's good, Lisa? That's right. Cat Lady's in the chat. I've been missing her. I dedicated a whole goddamn post to her that she didn't read. She didn't sit there and comment on. But you know, that's cool, I guess. You know, Chris. You know, Chris, that she is, but Brooklyn's gonna have some. She damn sure gonna have some explaining to do. Monique says Rocco could have told Dante, "No, we can't go as a college party. There's gonna be drinking, and we're gonna." Yes, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, though, right? And that's one of the things that Kyrie's just not there talking about. That I didn't bring that stuff up. I don't know why I didn't bring it up. I'll bring it up to him, but yeah, and that's true. Like it's not just on Geo, right? It's not just on Geo. You know, nobody put a gun to Rocco's head and told him to drink into whatever, right? Wing says talking about a character who's forgotten Can Zende. Oh shit! Yes, Darby, you stop it. I briefly mentioned that. Calm down. Um. Oh, Blackman says I was laughing at Stephanie when she told Hope I thought she was going to pass it. I was surprised that she actually did that. Though. Like I was, and that's the thing, Blackman. I was on my phone. Have a good night, DC. It was great to see you. I can't wait for our next collab. Yeah, but it's I don't know. Oh, yes, it was because I was looking at my phone, and when she told him that, when she was like, "Hey, listen, Liam is dying," I was like, I thought they were gonna like spread that shit out. I really did. I thought they were gonna spread that out. I felt like I was gonna make a joke, and that fucking point has passed. Where was it? Oh, it was off from Monique's comment. Yeah, he could have did that. He could have simply said, "No, I don't want to do that. This is not really my kind of thing, or whatever." Um, well, like I'm gonna sound like DC, but I do understand. Well, I've never been susceptible to peer pressure, but I understand where you can. Krista says, where's Scotty Baldwin? His ass is fired. Like, let's be honest, they quietly fired him. And you can tell he got quietly fired because he keeps posting on Instagram and on Twitter, Demetra, who who do you think will buy the hospital each year? I'm guessing I kinda want it to be EJ. I kinda want it to be EJ. What's good, Kaiwan? I kinda want it to be EJ. Because he's he's in the match with Monica. He's in the attic with Monica. Blackma says Daphne needs to get a grip. She's doing too much. That chick's been doing too much. And thank you for bringing that up, Blackma. That chick has been doing too goddamn much. And Deacon is an asshole. And clearly I missed a joke of what I was going to sit there and say. So, hey, Jess, are you still in the chat? I don't know if Jess is actually cooking or something like that. But I was gonna blame one of y'all. Ah, fuck it. You know what, Kathleen? You've been being a bad girl in this stream. I'm gonna blame you for my if I get a hangover. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. I'm gonna blame your ass. Um, she does need. I don't understand a woman that has this presence that she commands authority. Okay, I gotta turn off this AC because this shit is just like fucking killing me. Blame yourself in the blanket. Yeah, that's right. She loves me. That's what that really means. Dory says, everyone let's blame Albert for every little thing we want. That's not how that works. What's good, Jonathan? Jonathan, what'd you think of when he said just doing you did Cat Lady on her live? Just doing you did Cat Lady on her live. Cat Lady, you stop it. You're not leaving, are you, Krista? But Jonathan, what'd you think of we can't see. What the fuck? Oh shit. There we go. Wow. Wow, Darby. Jesus Christ. Okay, I hope you can see me now. Okay, thank you. How, dumbass? The word is how. Oh, you're being extra spicy tonight. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, and I'm here now, Lisa. Thanks to Jonathan. When Nick says Carter keep entertaining Daphne, he lets her get close to him, and now once he said to Daphne, you know what? That's actually very true. That's not what I said. Oh, what'd you say? Okay, then yeah, I think I probably got it mixed up. But Cali is wild tonight. Like, damn, girl, I missed you too, but Jesus Christ. Spicy with I don't know what that meant, but oh, and Demetra got a comment for you, Jonathan. Now I said Egypt. I said that I said I wanted EJ to, but my bad. When my bad. I guess the alcohol has affected me, and I'm blaming Cat Lady for it. no matter what the no matter what the color of my cup is. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. But yes, I didn't I didn't know the hospital was for sale. Exactly, Black Man. But yeah, Lisa, after that soap opera incident, like what happened with that deranged woman, it pretty much put the hospital in a bankruptcy situation. Like it did. It put it in a bankruptcy situation. I mean, the sad thing is, Lisa, I never thought that let's be honest, the hospital was never going to go under. So like, there's a certain level of tension that does get lost. I missed Reg Solo Cop. I still have a few of them. But I got some new ones though. So my aunt came and dropped them off. So I was like, all right, I might as well use them. Like I might as well use them. Johnson says, "What if Paulina buys this? She's rich." You know, it's funny, Jonathan. It's hard to forget. It's hard to remember that she's rich when she's living in such a small apartment. Like you would think that she's rich, so she would have her own mansion, and she's living. Like I'm not trying to make fun of people's apartments. I think that that's a fine apartment for a normal working class person, but for somebody who's rich, it's like, come on, seriously? That's a good question, though, right, Darby? Like, how rich is she? Like, how rich is EJ? When you stop to think about it, because that guy Jeffrey was like, "Yo, listen, you can't sit there and maintain that hospital in general. Like, you might be able to, okay, flip the bill, whatever, to buy it, but you can't." And EJ knows that. EJ is counting on that pat. Tommy says Audrey needs to find something else. Let me tell you something, Tommy. Damn, there was so much I didn't sit there and talk to Kyrese about. Um, fuck. But Nate knew what he was getting into when he decided to go with Audra. Just like I know what I'm getting into when I decided to love my cat lady. So, like, Link says now we can see how much you drank. Oh, oh. Maybe I should probably go back to the red cups then. I was like, okay, now I can sit there and see my ass probably going back to the red cups now. Um, but like, Archer's an idiot, Tommy. But so is Nate. Kelly has been so bad throughout this whole stream, but she loves me though. That's wifey right there. Um, but Archer's an idiot though. Like that's the truth of the matter. Like you gonna sit there and trust Victor Newman? Chelsea's also an idiot if we're gonna be honest. Chelsea, you knew damn well what you were getting into when you decided to work for Newman Media, talking about, oh, we're going to sit there and do this for truth and justice in the American way, pretty much. Victor came in there. Victor was like, yo, you need to sit there and get this chick on board. No, she's not. not even, I even put that shit out there into the universe. Wing says, why does the mayor of Port Charles and the mayor of Salem both live in apartments? Well, how much is a mayor's salary? or is it more of a perceived sort of thing? Like, Ellie, you stop it. Um, but yeah, I don't understand that. Darby says Laura live in a mansion. Okay. I don't see mansion. The Q's live in a goddamn mansion. Hell, I think even Brooke lives in a damn mansion. If we're gonna be honest, a mansion with no security. Yo, for anyone that watched B&B today, did y'all see how easily Steffi just walked on in a luxury apartment? Thank you, Jonathan. Um, Steffi just walked on in. She didn't even use the goddamn front door. I mean, when she sat there and she told Liam's secret and everything. Yeah, I sat there, I was like, did she just, she just bypass just walking on, knocking on the door like a normal human being? Like, this is my thing with Days of Our Lives, right? So much crime has happened at the Damaris place, and not once have y'all bothered to sit there and get fucking security, right? They answer their own doors. Like, I mean, I know that the budget must be tight for well, I mean, obvious, yes, Jonathan. But the fact of the matter is, like, oh, Jonathan, by the way, did you watch Thunderbolts? The Marvel movie Thunderbolts? Tommy says Audra needs someone just ruthless like her. Yeah, she did, and it was Tucker, and well, that shit just went sideways, though. Oh yes, you did. My bad. My bad. Darby just finished. Darby just watched it. Wing says, "Yeah, I was like, use the front door. You're not welcome in that house." Yeah, but see, Wink, that brings to a debatable question, all right? So Liam says that he doesn't want. Oh, Jonathan, I loved it. I fucking loved it. Um, that leads to a debatable question, all right? So Liam didn't want anyone to know his medical situation. Jonathan, I'm about to sit there and tell you a joke in a hot minute. Um, but Steffi decided to sit there and just out his medical situation anyway. Did you get emotional in any personal movies? I know you were an alpha male, but did you feel any? No, no, I didn't, Wink. The only time I actually did it, if we're gonna be honest, Wink, the only time I actually did get emotional was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That got me. Normal superhero movies don't get me like that, but that did, though. What do you think of the movies? I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. But see, that's the thing, though, Jonathan. I had to sit there and try to tell Dolomitics that, like, you're not seeing exactly the same movie. Lisa says, okay. Tommy says Claire will get mad at Adam for not settling the apartment. Wait, is this in tomorrow's episode, Tommy? Okay, but that's the question, all right? Darby says Liam has a responsibility to his daughter's mother to tell her she's going to die. But at the same time, though, shouldn't you have a certain level of medical privacy, Darby? See, I remember having a conversation with Nikisha, and she was not there saying with Eric, that his medical, it should be private. You know that if you're gonna be, if you ever had the time to sit there and be selfish, that was a time to, to keep your medical situation private. But I don't feel that way either. I don't feel, especially with Eric's situation, especially with Liam's situation, that you should have a certain level of privacy. Like, I feel like the people in your life that's closest to you should know the truth. But that's always a very debatable, no, you're a father that trumps all person. But that's the thing, though, right, Darby? That's where I feel like I understand that, but I feel that some people will sit there and argue that he has a right to his medical privacy. That's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you, but Wink says I feel bad for Elena. She got me in that one scene when she was talking about her dad. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was close. That was close. That was yeah, that was close. Um, I felt that because she's a very tough and stoic character. So when she breaks down, like it hits differently. It hits differently than somebody who is just a little bit more emotional. Like her breaking down, I would feel more for than um what is her name? Black Widow. It feels different than Black Widow. And that's why I feel like Yelena is kind of a better character than Black Widow, in a sense. Uh, Here's the thing, Jonathan. I'm gonna answer that one question. I'm gonna answer in 1 second. Tommy says I need Ted to step up as a father. I mean, I get that, and I do agree on some level, but like it's gonna take him a minute though, because let's be honest, Tommy, Eva was kind of culpable in this situation. You know, he was kind of culpable in the situation. Like Kat said, she could have said something that she did. So I understand him taking a little bit of time to not just automatically step up as a father. Like you said, then you put a wrecking ball to his marriage. You help with that. Jonathan, I'm glad you asked that. I understood his initial reaction. Gio made a wrong choice. He made a wrong decision. He should have sat there and told Dante when it happened. He should have told Lulu when it happened. Instead, he decided to sweep it under a rug to try to be like, oh, I didn't want him to get in trouble or whatever. Right? No, Jonathan, at the end of the day, nobody likes being blindsided, especially when your loved one's in the hospital and you have to find out to somebody else. You didn't find out from Gio, who is an adult. So I get him lashing out. But we're going to get to that too. But Dante kind of lost credibility with me when he started using his badge and started saying things like, "Oh well, Gio probably supplied Danny with Rocket with the alcohol." That's where he started when he started accusing Gio this shit. That's when he started losing it for me. But I understand the initial anger because he did make a bad call. Jess, I'm gonna ask you a question. Annie, I've been tuning into Why Not. What have you thought of it? Jess, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna give you the same scenario, Jess, and I want you to sit there and give me an honest answer. If you're in that situation, let's say if it was your niece and nephew, and you didn't get that call, but you found out the same situation. let's say if it was your niece and nephew. You tell me that you initially would not be upset with Gio for not telling you that your niece or nephew or your daughter or son was in the hospital? I didn't get a chance to ask that question in Kyrie's Restraint because, well, there's a couple of different reasons, but well, would you not be upset? I understood why Carly felt the need to sit there and kind of drop the hammer down on Danny. I mean, on Danny. And he says it's totally different than Born to Beautiful, but it's interesting. Some of the acting wasn't so great, like talking to Danny, and there's no diversity, at least in the first episode. Just as Gio's not responsible for my son chose to drink, chose to go to a party, and chose to drink. Why would I blame Gio? Okay, the thing is just you're not blaming Gio for Danny drinking. You're not blaming Gio for Rocco drinking. You're blaming Gio for not telling you. When he first found Rocco, he didn't. The first call he should have made was either to you or the dad in the situation. That's my thing. He's not responsible for your son drinking, but knowing that your son went to a party and drank and is on the goddamn floor, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, Darby. It's when it's your loved one, it's a little bit different. You know, just as maybe, but he got him to the hospital, so that's all I would care about. Okay, all right. I wouldn't even be upset. Okay. Now Johnson says Jason's going to talk to Danny tomorrow. Nothing to do with it. Come on, just part of me is kind of sitting there looking at it like, yes, he didn't sit there and force Danny to, he didn't force Rocco to drink. But if he knows that your son, your daughter is on the damn floor and didn't sit there and make a call to you, and you find out that your son and your daughter is in the hospital, you tell me that you're not going to be like, you didn't even bother to tell me. You just swept it under the goddamn rug. Like, no, part of me just okay. All right, I'm gonna let that go. Okay, all right. I'm gonna let that go. I feel like there's more, but okay. I okay. Annie says, and in the way Dale's bad acting, saying, I think Mariah is keeping something from me, and I think, oh, Tessa, not too dramatic. Oh, Tessa, okay, that's what Tessa. Annie, just keep watching the show. I would sit there and say, keep watching the show. It is worth it. It took me some time to get into it too, but I don't know. It's a fun show. It operates on a different speed, and I can respect that. I don't know. I just like I said, I understood Dante's initial anger. I understood his initial reaction. I get that part. Um, him using the badge and everything like that. That's where he lost me. And unfortunately, that's the problem with anger. Anger can sit there and take you past. Because here's the thing: even Lois is like, "Yo, listen." No, I know what you meant. Even Lois is like, "Yo, listen, he's fine." Just as if he had the same Ingress Danny, I would get it, but Gio, no. Uh, oh no, I get that. No, I get that. Just no, Danny's Basuda, and I had to sit there and take a donkey for that one as well because yeah, I get that. But I don't know. Part of me just kind of feels a little bit different though. Just like I don't know if you feel a little more detached because it's a hypothetical situation, or because I don't know, or maybe you just feel differently. But okay, all right. I want your take, so I appreciate it. Ed and Leo definitely ran his course in the show. Yes, he has. What's good, Dave? Dante is going to regret everything once he finds out that Gio is his son. But how much should he regret, though? Right? Like, how much should he regret? And this is a very popular consensus that he's going to regret things because he's his son. You're one of the few who agrees with Dante. Yeah, I am. Because I get initial anger. And I get being blindsided. And no one likes that. No one likes being blindsided. Especially you being blindsided about somebody being in the hospital. You didn't find out until you get there about somebody else. And then you know that that person could have sat there and called you. And instead of doing that, they just swept it under the goddamn rug. Yes. I'm going to be fucking pissed. I'm going to be furious. Listen, I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine if it was my niece and nephew, I would feel the exact same way. I would understand the initial ripping of Geo. Hell, even Lois didn't sit there and say anything for the few minutes. It was only after he got to the point when he started talking about, oh, well, how do I know that you didn't sit there and give him the alcohol and everything? Like, that's what I was like, all right, bro. Now we're just getting to, like, yeah, that was over the top. And, but yeah, like, that's what I was like, all right, bro. Like, that's why I sat there and I looked at it today and I was like, all right, bro. So you had me yesterday up into that point. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Ed. I mean that's an extra level of nastiness. But to be fair, Ed, yeah, Nicole and Rafe kind of did the same thing in that death. If we're gonna be honest, yeah, and that's another thing. When see this is yes, exactly, Wink and Jess. This is why I sat there and I looked at it and I was like, Lois is right. Because the one thing I didn't agree with Dante was the fact that he was projecting. Lois is like, where was you at? We know where Gio was at. Gio was not there looking out for your son, but where was you at? Well, that's the point of it, though, right, Jonathan? Is the point is to sit there and give an initial level of drama and stuff. Um, Calais says Dante was over the top. Dot dot period. Ooh, damn girl, speak my language now. And I mean, and that's the problem, though, right, Darby? Because, like I said in my review, I was like, bro, your sister has literally had that same treatment, and you practically haven't said anything about Christina and Sunny and Alexis babying fucking Christina her whole goddamn life. So I love you, girl. Oh, badass. But yes, that's the point of that's the point. He took him to the party, then he gave Rocket alcohol. Yeah, that's what that's where it started to like. Because I'm sitting there watching this today, and I was like, all right, bro. So you had me yesterday. Now we just, we just, he's like, what are you doing? And that's the thing, though, Jess, right? Like, in a sense, this is why I like doing daily reviews because my opinion does change based off of the circumstances. And throughout all of it, I was like, I get your initial anger. Now you just like wilding the fuck out. Like I don't know where you're going. Wing said this is the second time a kid in Dante care has gotten drunk. Danny, while living with Dante and Sam, got picked up by the police for being drunk in a pub. This is a pattern. Yeah, it's definitely a pattern. That's true. But I don't know. I like I said, I just see if I did like weekly reviews, my answer would change. I mean, I understand the initial anger. At that point, it kind of just blew past it, and it's like I said, it's interesting. It's just crazy. I don't know. No, my love. That's that's not it at all. Like it's not about flip flopping, my love, and you know that. But perspective can change, and you can see a different side to situations, though. Nothing. Feelings and emotions and perspective is never written in stone. So that's not the case, and you know that. Darius has a whole thing reviving GH history, reliving GH history with the brother with alcohol getting the sober brother. Oh, what? But that's the thing, though, Natalie. Like no one perspective isn't set in stone. That's not how any of this in life works. Come on, my love. You should know me deep. You should know me better than that. Wynn says low key if Dante did cancel taking them to the baseball game, none of this would have happened, but blame is actually on Rocco. He knew better than to drink. I mean, blame is on a lot of things, but yes. You stop it. You stop it. You're a something else guy lady. Johnson says she's better give us Cody and Christina pairing us soon. It's time for the Crody Nation to rise up. That says Dante was also out of pocket because he said he watched Jared grow up and he should have known Geo character by now. Talking about jail time was the limit in that conversation again. I get it. I get is his kid. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I said. I don't like the abuse of power. I don't like the abuse of the power. I don't like the abuse of the badge. This is something that Chase said too. Chase just comes across as a goddamn um lapdog to I listen. I don't know. I mean, listen. If he's serious, he's serious. I don't know if he's trolling, but if he's serious, then well, the thing is, Kelly, I only burnt the franks and beans because of you. So let's just be real about that one for a hot minute. Okay, my love. But yeah, and that's not going to happen, Jonathan. Because let's be honest. You know that it's going to be Molly and Cody. Which honestly, tell you the truth, he was initially upset with Cody too. I don't want that shit to be taken away because he was upset with Cody until he realized it was Cody that came in afterwards that took him to the hospital and called Dante. That's the thing. Cody was the one that called Dante. No, I was thinking about her, Darby. And she knows that. But that's why he's not upset with Cody. Because Cody sat there and he saw a situation, and yeah, he was kind of chilling for a little bit, but he was like, oh shit. Anna abused her badge to the PCP can do everything but stop. That's true. But fuck, I forgot to sit there and say, at least we understand why Emma actually wants to sit there and nail what you call it to the wall. Um Dalton to the wall. Just said, what are we doing with Cody? It feels like he's just lingering in the background for no reason. Oh, he did for Molly. McD. Yeah, it was a good moment. I don't. The thing is, this is my issue. They took the money. This was like maybe about what 2 months ago, and then they're like, oh, well, we're gonna tax on interest. I'm like, that's the point where it's like, I mean, I get that they try to make it for for dramatic reasons, but it's fucking stupid. Like it is just dumb if we're gonna be honest. JT was fired after arguing with Alexis. JT was. What do you mean? Okay, so what you're. Thank you, Ed. Okay, so you're saying that the actor who played um TJ was fired after arguing with Nancy. Where'd you get this from? I'm not gonna just go out and start spreading this. Word. Where'd you get that from? Yes, Ed. So yeah, it's kind. Oh, yeah, Molly's husband. So Kristen, whatever, has a husband. I don't. Okay, I'm a little lost by this story. It was on YouTube. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that's lost in this scenario. Come on, my love. Let's be honest. You understood that? Okay. So the actress that plays Molly's husband, the actor that plays TJ got into an argument with the actor that plays with the actress that plays Molly's husband. I mean, come on, Darby. You know, yes, but we know that Nancy has. Thank you, Lisa. Wait, she acting like I'm the only person that's fucking lost in this whole thing. Um, but see, that's the thing, though. What shake my hell, my God. Baby girl, I'm not the only one. Um, I mean, Nancy has a history of just wilding the fuck out. Let's like seriously, let's just be real. She has a history of that shit. She's a good actress, but her as a person is extremely fucking questionable. It's extremely questionable. But see, that's the problem, though, right? So McD says on YouTube, TJ was fired for arguing with Alexis. She's kind of okay. I don't know if she's racist, but McD, let me just put it this way: you got to be careful with um what you hear on YouTube because a lot of these channels will sit there and put out content just to get people to watch, but it's not necessarily true. You know, they just do it for clicks and views. So yeah, just fuck. Why does it have to go all the way up? So just be careful. You know, I hate Smith is saying something. That's true. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not, but we can agree to disagree on that. I think that Nancy is a lot of things. I mean that. Okay, right, I'm not even gonna. But for the rest of the chat, just be careful about when you click on these spoiler channels because they're not necessarily true. They are just Lisa Alexis is slamming Astro. Well, yes, I mean I've seen Natalie Grant act out of pocket. But McD, let's be real. And for the chat, some channels will just sit there and put out stuff because they um they want to get clicks and views. Yes, exactly, Jonathan. They're clickbait channels. They just want to get clicks and views. They don't care what they put out. So, you know, McD is. I don't almost almost want to sit there and have another drink because I'm just like it almost saddens me when people sit there and say that this is true because this channel said so. Like part of me is just like people cannot be this fucking stupid. And people cannot be this. He's never been mentioned again. Thank you, Darby. Click. But you know what? You know what really bothers me is when people like McD actually believe those channels. Because part of me, I want to sit there and think like, yo, soap opera fans are not just fucking gullible. They're not just. They cannot be as gullible. And then I read comments like that. I'm like, fuck me. Wing says Nancy Grant actually did make a comment on Twitter, slightly racist about Viola Davis. Okay, you know what? All right, fuck it. Let's okay, fuck it. Let's get into that for a hot minute. I remember what comment did she make? Because there's the comment that I remember that she said from the Breakfast Club about she said something along the lines of Viola Davis need a better speechwriter. I remember that. So unless she says something else, you know, Wink, what did she say? I remember that she said something like, "Oh well, she's not a good." I remember that, Jonathan, because I actually wrote the wrong goddamn thing on the wrong title for one of my streams. And you remember that stream? From what I remember, what she said, what I remember, what she said, Jess. She said, "I think that Viola Davis made a speech, and Nancy didn't like the speech, and she was like, hey, you know, I think that she needs a better writer." Thank you, Lisa. Oh, 20 likes. Oh, we gotta do better than that. Yeah. Kelly says it's a lot of AI videos out now. Can't trust. Exactly. You can't. That's why I'm sitting there looking at McD. I'm like, God damn, seriously? Black Mouse said Viola Davis made a speech at the Emmys when she won. Yeah, she made a speech, and Nancy just simply sat there and said like that speech was whack. You need to sit there and get a better writer to make a speech for you. And people sat there and they took that as in she was being racist. Unless Wink has something different. Because I'm going to be honest, I remember that specifically because she got quote unquote donkey of the day. And I'm like, she's what when people has too much power in their hands. No, I mean she no what she made us yeah, she just sat there and said like your speech sucked. And this is my whole thing and I blame Power 105 because all it really came down to let's just be honest for a minute. A black woman says something. Wink said Viola Davis was the first black actress to win in her category. And Nancy said something like, it's not about a black woman winning this, it's for all women. Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay. Well, that's bad. I'm not going to sit there and say that's racist, but like that was definitely bad. And I'll be honest, I microaggression. You know how I feel about that, Wink? It's like when people sit there and say Black Lives Matter, and then some person will sit there and say, well, all lives matter. And it's like they miss the plot of what we're saying, you know? I've seen so many people sit there and say, well, that's not true. All lives matter. It's like, yeah, but we're not talking about all lives matter. We're literally sitting there. We're not talking about all lives matter. We're talking about Black Lives Matter in this situation, in these situations. And I find it more just ignorance. Like, okay, we're just going to be blindly ignorant and be like, well, all lives matter. It's like, but that's it's like they're missing the plot of what people are talking about. So that's the thing, Elisa. I don't find it race. I just find it exactly, Jonathan. I don't find it racist. I just find it to be ignorant. Debbie says she just gets misunderstood a lot when she tries to do what she thinks is right and goes overboard her actions. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Like that's the thing, Darby. There's a certain level of stupidity. And I feel like she needs to be judged on her stupidity or lack of knowledge, not necessarily be branded as something that she's not. That says, I need Sophia to stand up because Tate just wants her to give up the baby so he can get with Holly. And that's actually funny too. And I thought about that. I was like, he just wants to get with Holly. He doesn't give a damn about this child. And part of me actually gets annoyed about that though too. Just as I don't think it's racist, but it's snarky for sure. Yeah, it's a level of ignorance. It's a level of ignorance that but that's the thing though, Jess. Like ignorance can be taught if you actually want it to. Johnson says, "How do you think Bo will be saved?" See, this is okay. This is. I'm glad you asked that, Jonathan, because I can't even. That's true, Lisa. Um, that's the thing, though, Jonathan. This is my issue with this, and I'm gonna lay it out like this, and I can't give an answer because part of me doesn't care. But see, that's the problem, right, Jonathan? Like, Bo hasn't been relevant for so long, and That's the thing, though, right, Jonathan? You look at this like, can both, how do you think both can be saved? I think the real question is, does anybody care if Bo is saved, right? Let's be honest, Jonathan. Bo hits differently for different people. Bo hits different, but that's what I'm just saying now, Darby. Bo hits differently for different people. Bo is an older character. His character was made before I was born. His character was made before I was born. So like, and they haven't used him in like years. So for me, I sit there and think, why should we care? Like Jonathan, let me ask you a question. Do you even care if Bo is saved or not? Like, do you seriously care if Bo is actually saved? But that's the thing, though. Like, I mean, yeah, I understand that. Like, Jonathan doesn't want to be a dick, but like, how? Okay, how much is your interest level if Bo is saved or not? I mean, yeah, we can think about the cool Mission Impossible scene or whatever that they're gonna do, but like, do you really care? Just as I'm also one of those black people who don't get offended by everything and thinks everyone is racist. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the thing, though, right? When it's like they're assholes and they're ignorant, right? And I guess both can kind of be applied, but like, I don't like when Nancy said what she said about Viola Davis. It wasn't racist; it was just ignorant. But see, my issue with Viola Davis, I mean, my issue with Nancy is that she's at an age where she just doesn't care, right? Like, seriously, let's just be real for a minute. Nancy has been sitting there saying some out of pocket shit for years, right? Out of pocket shit for years. This is not the first thing that Nancy has said that's been out of pocket. I heard, and granted, this is just a rumor, or he did return after the life recently, so it will be a real shame if he came back only to. Okay, I can get that point. I can get that point. I get that. I don't know. I guess my whole thing that, but you understand what I'm saying, though, right, Jonathan? Like that's my point. Like I get that point, but you understand what I'm saying, though, right? How many times has Bo died and come back? Nancy problematic as fuck. But see, that's the thing, though, right? Just so she's problematic as fuck. Yeah, she's a good actress. We can, put her shit aside. She's a good actress. But she okay, so I heard that she came at the new actor that plays Brennan, Jack Brennan, because of his political views. This is the same chick that said that she was going to do a tell-all about anybody who didn't vote the way that she voted. So I'm like, so essentially, you're just going to create a toxic work environment for everybody else because you're going to expose them because they either didn't vote or they didn't vote the way that you voted. So like, what is it? I mean, seriously, what does that say about, well, you know, GH, ABC, that work environment? That you're gonna sit there and let this chick just continue to run off with the mouth. This is, honestly, tell you the truth, this is the reason why I sat there and I kept, in some ways, kind of being like, you know what, y'all want to sit there and try to act like, like the act, Engo Rodemaker is the problem. But you got Nancy Smith there being problematic all the goddamn time. Well, I guess this is why Alexis do not have a love life. And this is why people who act like her don't have a love life. Johnson says, Do you think we'll have a scene where Leslie and Bill Hamilton? Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. I mean, to be honest, Jonathan, I'm surprised we didn't actually have that happen. Given we're definitely gonna have it now, given the gravity of what Bill did to Leslie. So we're definitely gonna have that. Bobby says if she does a total, maybe someone will do a sewer on her bike. I mean, to be honest, mm, she is probably. Well, here's the thing, though. Let me ask you a question. I mean, you look at that. Okay, so Cat Lady says, "Well, I guess this is why Alexis doesn't have a love life." Do you think that Natalie Grant actually have a love life? Yeah, she has a daughter and everything like that, but do you see her still married? No, she's not fucking married. She's not married because she's problematic as fuck. And nobody, you know what I'm saying? She's toxic as shit. It says, so Gabby heard EJ arguing with a man when she saw Ava leave the mansion in a hurry, so I wonder if another man shot EJ after Johnny. Well, I'm glad because now we know that they heard a man's voice. What's good, Brockway? So now they know that so now they know that it's a man. Just oh yeah, I hope they do the same thing with Leslie and Bill. They have to at this point. But that's the thing though, Wink. I don't but the sad thing is when some people do operate on that function. Right? Like some people can't just agree to disagree when it comes towards politics. And it's even in my family to some extent. Wink, I did a video maybe a couple months back, basically they're saying that I don't um there's certain things I don't talk about, and one of the things is politics. There's a reason why. Rosemary, I heard that Gisela Winters is coming back on Young and Restless. She is coming back on Monday. Oh wow. Where'd you hear that from, Wink? I mean, where'd you hear that from, Rosemary? Where'd you hear that from? Yeah, that would be kind of it'd be kind of old, but it also be on brand now too. Nobody says that, but as much as I hate a bad person, I can't stand a so-called good person who doesn't think their ish don't stink. Yeah, but I mean, I can see that. All right, I'll be right back. Where the fuck? There it is. Nope. There we go. Man, I don't like. I saw your live stream. I don't know what you were talking about. I'm gonna be honest. You're kind of just all over the place. There we go. Whew, okay. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, the cat lady. I only actually went one time, so I don't know what she's that they're talking about. But Ed. Here's my thing, and I'm glad you actually brought that up. Chanel has been annoying as shit, if we're gonna be honest. Chanel has been just like even when she came at AJ, I was like, girl, if you do not like she was doing way too much. Let's see what Kyrie's is doing. Let's see who's in his train for a minute. Fucking booze. Okay, there we go. Hmm. Thank you, Jonathan. Like I sat there, I was like, well, here's the thing. She just wants to sit there and bitch and complain. Let's be honest. She wants to sit there and bitch and complain. Because Hurston saying this is all your fault and I was like, okay, like Johnny decided he didn't want to sit there and do the adoption. You sitting there acting like a 12-year old is not going to fucking change that. And no, I got that. No, I'm good. How you doing? I just like I said, I saw your stream and I was just like, um, I don't. Also, why'd you erase all your videos for? Like, what what was that about? You just sat there and erased all your videos. I didn't understand. Like, I mean, did you get in trouble by YouTube or something? Yeah, and it was just, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really too pleased with her before. I wasn't too pleased with her before. Um, when she was there shushing Johnny and trying to get Johnny to change his mind right on the spot. I don't like the fact that Johnny kind of ambushed her, and I get that part, but I don't know. I feel like she is a fucking headache if we're gonna be honest. I really do. And that's the thing though, Jonathan. Like, EJ could have seriously sat there and told her to kick rocks without socks. Like, okay, you don't like that Johnny didn't want to do the adoption, fine. But coming over here and your little whiny little temper tantrum is not going to change anything. So you want to blame me for everything? Okay, fine, boo. You said your piece. You can go. I feel like Chanel is such a goddamn headache at this point. Like I don't, I can't with her. Oh no, I got that one, Path man. Why'd you change your name though? For I don't know, I got so many questions, and I don't really. Yeah, I'm not drinking. Um, I am interested in Days of Our Lives stuff. I don't know. I feel like we're beyond. When are you open to doing a live stream? Uh, I'm pretty busy this month. We gotta sit there and say. I don't want to sit there and say one thing or the other. So there's a lot of plans for different live stream people to sit there and collab with. Yeah, I realize that. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Mrs. Smartass. I'm definitely gonna change back to the other Cubs. Hmm. Johnson says A will be on tomorrow. He's going to talk to Chanel. Oh Lord, why do I have a feeling that I'm gonna be annoyed about that? Well, I also feel I'm gonna be annoyed. I don't know. Maybe I'm just annoyed by Chanel in general. I mean, granted, she's not the train wreck that the first version was, but like this is my whole thing though. Lisa says fill her up. I would, but I do want to sit there and watch another episode of Paradise and so he can lie more. Baby girl, I don't lie. Hey, see, you see what I'm dealing with cat lady? You see what I'm dealing with since cat lady? Ed, I made a whole post about missing her, and she's been nothing but sassy the entire time. It has been, but you know what? Maybe he just needed that break, though. Maybe he just needed that break. I get it. Let's see. I'm gonna go in a few minutes. I'm gonna sit there and go on Kyrie's stream and kind of um. I'm gonna sit there and say it's just started. Don't drag poor Eddie. No, 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 no. Okay, no. Since you didn't acknowledge my damn post that I dedicated to you, I'm gonna sit there and let Ed know about that. Don't drag him into my ass. Hmm. You know, before I go in Kyrie's stream and say what I'm gonna sit there and say, there was an annoying part in Kyrie's stream that had nothing to do with that. Apparently, some person was there coming at Tommy sideways. I saw that, and I did feel bad for Kyrie's because I know what it's like to sit there and be essentially a ringleader. Yeah, Lisa, I'm like, yo, I dedicated yeah, you didn't go to my channel. Well, yeah, but I'm gonna go to your channel tonight, though. I'm gonna go to your channel tonight. You know, has nothing to do with the post I dedicated towards you that you didn't bother to read or comment, but whatever. Um, I saw that in the stream. Some person came at Tommy sideways, right? And I'm kind of just like, girl, you must have fucking main character syndrome. Like, okay, so Tommy writes a comment about Mr. Shepard or whatever. Like, why does that bother you so much? Oh, can you please block him? The okay, what she really said was that she loves me. Okay, and I love her. That's just our dynamic. That's her being sassy and cute. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna sit there and watch her YouTube channel. But I'm like, why are you sitting there telling somebody to, you know, yeah, yes, if you just click on Cat Lady's profile, it will come up. Um, why are you telling somebody to block somebody for? Because you don't like what they have to say. So what? It's not about you. It's not about you. So I felt like that was annoying. And like Kyrie shut it down and then she came back up and started sitting there saying that shit again. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? I know that says I honestly understand why Dante was pissed, but at the same time, he was a little bit too harsh on Gio. Yes, I agree with that. Oh, excuse me. Don't watch it now. Of course I cared about it. I just been busy. You know how it is. Doing 5 reviews. I mean, watching 5 soap operas and doing at least 2 or 3 reviews. And of course I care about you, and you know I care about you. Don't be sitting there telling these lies in this chat. You know, girl, damn well, you know damn well I love you. Everybody in this chat knows I love you. Don't do that. That's what we're not gonna do. And that's what we're not gonna do. Okay? How many times I promoted her channel? Don't do that. Like, don't do that, because then you might actually sit there and see a real fucking crash out moment. Don't do that. Let's not go there. All right. But yeah, that's what I'm saying to say. I'm gonna have. Like, I get his initial baby girl. Let's let's not add. Let's not get the chat involved in this. Okay. All right. Not you said that. But point is, you know, I don't even know what the initial point was. Um, no, but I understand Dante's point of view. I mean, I get that part. I just I don't know. And it's funny too because another streamer is also snipped there doing that very controversial point of did Dante go too far? And I'm kind of like split down the middle, and I still stand on business what I said yesterday, but also I do get where people are coming from. But yeah, the point is, I love Cat Lady. I just, watching the five soap operas and everything has. Also, I woke up kind of late too. Like I woke up around 11:30. I don't know what the fuck wound up happening to me. So yeah, mm. Like a father tells his daughter, if a man can't take time to look out for you, then don't look out. That's not, that's not, no, 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 no. Um, is she serious? She's serious. Yo, is she serious? Yo, this woman knows I love her. I fucking promoted her. Never mind. Okay. Justin says, do you think Josh will be able to get that job? If she does, Emma will probably go back to resent. Oh no, she's definitely gonna go back to resenting her. But the thing is, though, Jonathan, I did make an initial theory that she's going to do something to undermine Emma. The difference is she doesn't feel as bad because yeah, Dalton apparently was doing some sort of illegal testing, right? He was doing some sort of illegal testing. And so Josh is like, listen, somebody's going to get him. It's not like, okay, well, if I don't get this GPA or whatever, it's going to devastate me. It's more like, I got to get this guy for what he's doing. Lametta says, I think he should have been more mad at Danny than anyone, and it seems like he's going to go off on Jason tomorrow. Well, I mean, on some level, like you having your child and another person's child pretty much kind of drag him into unnecessary stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't feel like the scenario is as simple as people are making it out to be, and I think that's where people are kind of losing the plot. But I do understand the initial, bro. You doing a little bit too much. Yes, animal testing. Girl, you know I love you. Okay, you stop it. Um, just because I didn't get a chance to watch your video yet does not mean that the love is anything less. Why am I on this fucking cup? Does not mean that the love is anything less. And I tell her that every day. And the fucking chat knows that. So you just being, well, you. Thus I love you. Johnson says, "What's your favorite TGIF show?" Um, Damn. I guess I would sit there and say Family Matters. I always got to go back to Family Matters because I could sit there and say Boy Meets World, but I didn't watch Boy Meets World as long. But if I had to sit there and say my favorite shows was Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, Boy Meets World, Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Um, I can't put Full House. I can't do it. Like I just, I can't do it. But definitely, yeah, step by step. Oh, thank you, John. Yeah, step by step, step by step. Yes, you being stubborn, and I love you even more. You're wifey, and you're my boo. So you stop it. As says, I got a fun drinking game. Take a shot every time a character says Drew's name. Your review gave me now. And that's the thing, though, right? So I'm glad you watched it because that's one of the things that's starting to really irk me. Is that I feel like General Hospital, in a sense, is kind of taking this level of yes. I'm not gonna lie, Ed. I never actually watched Sabrina. I didn't realize it was on TGIF. And if we're gonna be honest, the only Sabrina that I recognize is the one that was actually playing on Netflix. Yes, Lisa, it did have Urkel. It had Urkel, and then it had quote unquote Stefan, because they had to do that. Yeah, he was on a lot of shows. Yes, he was on a lot of shows. I didn't know he was on that, but he was on a lot of shows though. Hey, whatever happened to Rudy? What was her name? Trudy? Remember Trudy? Remember Laura's sister? What happened to her? Um, I don't remember Stark and Hutch. That was kind of like before. Yeah, I don't remember. I know the show, but I don't. I never really thought about it, so I don't really have a thought on it. Yeah, Judy Winslow. Thank you, Jonathan. What happened to Judy Winslow? Judy Winslow. Starks and Hutch. Yeah, I never actually watched the show, so I don't really have a thought. Tracy says Family Matters was my show. Just saying. But that's what I'm saying though, Ed. Like, what happened to her? Yeah, and that's the thing, John. I mean, yes, I um, I want to know how did they write her off though? Because there was rumors that they're saying that she got hit by a car, and then they just I don't know, it just happened, and then they just kind of moved on. Um, but I want to know I want to know I know what happened to the actress. Like she went through some shit, but I want to know what happened from a story point of view. That's a shitty writing. That's just shitty writing. They wrote Judy off the show in real life. She did adult movies. Yeah, she did adult movies. She had a substance abuse problem. She was it was like the probably the saddest person to stuff that happened to her was Steve Urkel's girlfriend. What the hell was Steve Urkel's actual girlfriend, who is, if we're gonna be honest, looked better than her? It didn't write her off the show. She went to her room and never came back. Well, what happened? Okay, what happened to what was the other girl's name though? Urkel's girlfriend who actually liked him, who appreciated him. Man, that says something about fucking like modern relationships. Michelle and oh Maya, thank you. Maybe she's still in her. Maybe she did right in the room. Maya, thank you, Ed. They basically didn't have her muster. Yeah, that's still shady writing though. But yes, obviously that's probably one of happened. But Maya, like that was tragic. What happened to Maya, right? I mean, it's tragic what happened to her too. What Judy, but oh, that shit was bad. That shit was bad. I was like, yo, bro. You, I mean, again, that just says something about modern relationships, though. Like, you had a girl that was bad, that was hot, that was actually into you, and you still go for fucking Laura. Like, bro, yeah, yeah. That's all I said, Tracy. Yeah, it was tragic. You know, I mean, granted, the other chick, it was also bad. That was, I don't know, that was bad life decisions. That was bad life decisions that led her down that path. But with the actress that played Maya, it was a little bit different, to some extent. Both tragic, but yeah. Okay, all right. I'm gonna end the stream here, but I do want to thank everyone for joining us. This was actually a lot of fun. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all have a great night. I will sit there and see you on tomorrow's live stream. And you know how we do. Jonathan, close us out, please. Night Ed, night Blackmo. What the fuck? Have a good night, my gorgeous queen cat lady. Have a good night, Tracy. Have a good night, Shariran. Her name wasn't my. It was. Oh, Myra. Thank you. A different one. I used to watch a different one. Thank you, Tracy. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Thank you, Jonathan. Now make sure you close us out, okay? Close us out for me, if you will. Have a good night, Lisa. Have a good night, Blackmon. There we go. Johnson says, join us for another edition of Search Out with Albert Bostic. Thank you. Have a good night, Lisa. Have a good night, Tracy Steves. Johnson says, good night, everyone, and hit the like button. Yes, hit that like button. Make sure you share some of these videos because it really does actually help. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Jonathan, the Michael Bourne, to my Victor Newman, and everybody else who I didn't say goodnight to. You know who you are. And I'll see you on the next one. Laters.